All right, folks, it is 2:02, so in the interest of time, I am going to go ahead and get started. I want to thank you all for coming here today. I want to go ahead and let you know that we are recording this session. So if you don't want your face or voice to be recorded, that's perfectly fine. Just please leave your camera off, and any questions, feel free to use the chat. Please leave your microphones muted, during this session unless you have a question. But we will also have some time for questions at the end as well. But yeah, with that being said, my name is Catherine. So I am part of the admissions team here at the Villanova Graduate Tax Program. So I work with prospective students, kind of from the initial point of, I think I might be interested in getting a degree, all the way through, helping you with the application process, really up until you kind of say, yes, I'm definitely gonna, enroll in this degree and kind of accept an offer of admission. And then at that point in time, I sort of pass you on to a colleague of mine who does advising and will work with you throughout your duration of your time in the program. So that's a little bit about me. And now we are going to get into the graduate tax program. We're going to do kind of a general information. And then at the end, I know this is specific to international tax. We're going to talk a little bit about that at the end. Okay. So here in the graduate tax program, we offer 2 master's degrees and 4 certificates. So we have the Master of Taxation, which is geared more towards accounting, finance, business professionals. It is a 30 credit hour program. There are 6 required classes and 6 electives. You can complete the degree in as little as 2 years. But with all of our programs, you have a maximum of 5 years to finish the degree. So you can kind of choose the pace in which you want to go. Our Master of Laws in Taxation is for students that have a JD already from a school that is accredited by the ABA, or they're licensed to practice law in a foreign country or in the United States. It is a 24 credit hour program. You've got 6 required classes and 3 electives. You can complete that degree in as few as 18 months. But again, you have up to 5 years to complete it as well. And then we offer some certificates. So the certificates are an opportunity if you maybe already have an MT or an LLM, or you want to kind of focus your education on a niche area of tax, versus the MT and the LLM are much more broad, ensuring that you have a high level understanding of a lot of various areas of tax. The certificates allow you to take 5 classes all in one particular subject area, solely focusing on that. And they're also, again, a great opportunity if maybe a whole master's degree is not the best fit for you. The certificates are a smaller program option with only 5 classes. So you can get it done much more quickly in as little as 9 months. We offer all of our classes online. We also offer some classes in person. We have structured this program. We are based out of the law school, but it is structured a bit different from what you have experienced in law school if you've been to law school, or sort of know about the learning approach within law school, where they have kind of a Socratic method. Your professor will lecture. They tend to call on students at random. There's not a lot of assessments built into the coursework within a law school class, typically, you may have 1 or 2 grades or assessments that kind of encompass the entirety of your course grade. So we have taken a different approach where we really want you to have various check-ins throughout your time in the class. So you're able to know consistently and constantly what you're understanding well and what maybe you need to study a little bit more. So we combine some short answer questions at the beginning of the week that you will complete after you do that week's reading. You'll always have a live class, face-to-face with your professor, whether you're taking class in person or online. And then at the end of the week, you'll have a quiz. All our classes are 8 weeks long, so that does allow you to complete the program at an accelerated pace versus that of, a 16-week long class. That does mean that you are, probably spending anywhere from 12 to 15 hours between reading and studying and class time. So it is a time commitment, but that's how we are able to offer this program where you can complete it in, for the LLM in as little as 18 months and for the MT in 2 years. We do have some full-time academic professors, but we have a heavy amount of faculty that are full-time practitioners. So this degree is designed to be, a professional degree that you can utilize in your career from day one. We want you to take a concept that you learn in class 1 week and be able to apply it in your professional career the very next week. So we bring in folks that are in-house or Big Four or Big Law who emphasize their experience and are able to take the theory and say, this is how I typically have used it in my career, and kind of offer their opinion combined with the theory. As I mentioned, we do have an 8-week class format. So this is an example of a 2-year plan of how you could potentially move through the program. So these dark blue classes are the required classes, and these light blue classes are electives. You don't have to go through it in this order. Typically what we recommend is that you take Survey of Tax, Tax 1, and Tax 2, as your first 3 classes. Those are required classes. And then after that, your sort of prerequisites are done, and you could slot an elective in here if you wanted to, or you could, move partnerships here. It's kind of up to obviously you and what you have going on, and also, what we're offering. But we, as I mentioned, do have advising, and we'll help you map out a degree plan that's kind of customized to you. Another thing I wanted to mention is that you can use these electives to work towards a certificate. So if you wanted to combine an MT or an LLM with a certificate, you certainly can do so. And this is where you would take those classes, is in these elective spots. But we do have a broad catalog of electives. If you, were maybe not looking to combine it with a certificate, you're certainly welcome to kind of continue on more of a broader approach by just taking from our general catalog. So our admissions criteria is the same for both our LLM, our MT, and our certificates. So it's not any different for any one program. So you do need to complete an online application that does cost $50. You can find that link on our website. We don't currently participate with LSAC. So if you are a lawyer, you will need to complete, our application. And like I said, that's $50. We are looking for 1 letter of recommendation, preferably from someone who is a professional reference, someone you've worked with, someone that can speak to your experience in tax. Or if you don't have experience in tax, but maybe you have adjacent experience, maybe you're a lawyer and you're looking to do a career pivot, or maybe you work in accounting and you're looking to get into tax, that kind of thing. someone who can speak to, kind of why is a degree in tax going to be beneficial for you in your career. So we're looking for kind of mid-career professionals, folks that have ideally 5 to 7 years of work experience under their belt already. Like I said, in either tax or in some sort of adjacent field where maybe you've encountered tax before. We do need a copy of your resume, official transcripts from all your past schools, an essay outlining your professional goals. And then this is kind of the only difference, which is just if you are a lawyer, obviously, we are looking for you to have a JD from a law school accredited by the ABA, or, potentially if you're, a foreign lawyer that's already licensed to practice in the United States, we can certainly work with you. But if you're not a lawyer and you're more of an accounting finance professional, we're kind of looking for one additional criteria from you. So ideally you hold some sort of professional licensure, such as a CPA or a CFP. If not, if you have an MBA or something already, that will suffice. If you have 7+ direct tax experience, 7+ years of direct tax experience, we can waive that requirement. Otherwise, we would need a GMAT or a GRE. And if there's, some questions or confusion about that, or if you want to know if something you have will suffice, we can certainly talk that through. Always available to talk one-on-one. We do have 3 start dates per year. So we enroll year-round, summer, fall, spring. They're set start times. So it's not like you could, start a class right now or something like that. We have kind of set structure. Right now we're enrolling for our fall session. That deadline is July 31st, but as I mentioned, we do enroll for spring and summer. Because our degree is really it's a part-time degree. It's designed for currently working professionals who are going to keep their day job and, kind of do this on the side. We have a full course schedule year round. We don't offer, there's not any sort of session or semester that is more limited than another session or semester. Obviously, I can't guarantee that we offer every class every semester or even every 8 weeks, but it's a full course schedule year round. This is just an example of some of the classes that we offer. So accounting for income tax, wealth tax, international tax, what have you. All our courses are listed on our website. So if you wanted to do a little bit of exploring and looking at all the classes we offer, feel free to head to that link. And just some highlights. We do our best to offer continuing ed or events where you guys can connect with each other if you happen to be local, or sometimes we will stream these, on Zoom or something like that. So this past year we did a tax litigation training for anyone who might be interested in pursuing an opportunity to present a case before the tax court. This offered a little training option. We obviously are going to talk about new international tax classes. Last fall, we offered a Women in Tax event where we had various leaders in the tax field talk about some successes and challenges they've had at being, in the minority in the tax field. And then this June, we have a SALT forum coming up, and registration is open for that. You can find that information on our website as well. We've kind of talked a lot about some of these already. Obviously, high quality curriculum, flexible scheduling. You are, upon completion, part of the Villanova Alumni Network. You're able to, get connected with all of the alumni events. You do earn CLE or CPE credit for your classes as well. And then lastly is international. So we have recently launched an international tax certificate. That is 5 classes solely dedicated to international tax. You can see them here: inbound, outbound, transfer pricing, advanced issues in international tax, and then mergers and acquisitions. So this is obviously in addition to the other 3 certificates that we already offer. This new international tax certificate, we're enrolling the first kind of class or cohort this fall. So you'll start with inbound as your first class, you'll then move into outbound, and you'll kind of take them in this order. So I welcome anyone who is interested in taking more classes on international tax to consider this certificate. And as I mentioned before, you can combine this with an MT or an LLM. So if you want sort of both a more niche exposure or education in particular tax area, as well as some high level overview of a bunch of other areas, you can definitely combine the 2. Yeah, at this point in time, I'll open up for questions. I also want to throw that my contact information is up here. Again, my name is Catherine. Feel free to send me an email, give me a phone call. We can always set up a time to talk one-on-one. And then if you just want to, make sure that you stay on our mailing list, you registered for this event today, so we'll be sure to stay in touch with essential information, deadline reminders, etc. But if anybody has any questions about the program or about the content that I cover today, please, feel free to fire away. You're welcome to use the chat or unmute yourself if you would prefer to do that. The options are unlimited. Thank you, Louise. Thank you for coming today. All right, well, if there are no questions, I will conclude this webinar. Again, feel free to shoot me an email if you want to schedule something and talk one-on-one. I'm happy to do so. But thank you so much to everyone who came.